welcome back to
Close Enough Sports. I'm Cameron.
And I'm Timo. To start, we have gained 6 new followers, 4 from YouTube, 1 from TikTok, and 1 from Instagram, which means 6 new LeBrons. Follow to become a LeBron. Today we're going to cover the NBA trades, F1 predictions, and some Premier League news, along with a hot take from a viewer. So with that started, let's get right into it.
Yeah, first we got basketball. I'm going to be talking about trade deadline, so let's just get right into that. Let's go. The NBA trade deadline was this Thursday on February 5th. We saw a lot of trades. It was a very good trade deadline. I think compared to most years, it's definitely above average. There's a little bit of a letdown because of Giannis not getting traded, as you know about.
Mm-hmm.
We were all expecting the Giannis trade, but it didn't end up happening. But we did get some very big trades happening across the league. A lot of players moving. I'll go over them. We had Jaren Jackson Jr. going to the Jazz. That one I don't really understand. I'm sure you don't really know much about that, but have you heard of Jaren Jackson?
No.
Yeah, he's played for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now he's on the Jazz, and I don't understand it. Jazz aren't a good team, and I don't know why they're trying to be good. I guess that's the point of basketball, but yeah. And they're not supposed to be a good team. And then we had a string of a lot of Bulls trades. Chicago Bulls, yeah, they had a lot of trades.
Yeah.
They were the most active team over the deadline by far. They were moving players around. They entered into a full retooling of their roster. So I'll go through them. They shipped Nikola Vucevic, their starting center, former All-Star, 2-time All-Star for the Magic. He was great for Chicago. And now he's gone to the Boston Celtics. I love this move for the Boston Celtics because they were missing a center. They had Jaylen Brown and Derek White, who were great. And then they had Anthony Simons, but he's now going to Chicago in return for Nikola Vucevic. Anthony used to play for the Blazers, so have you heard of him, Anthony Simons?
I think I've heard of his name.
Yeah, he was pretty good on the Blazers. He wasn't too good for Boston, but honestly, I'm excited to see what he does in Chicago because I think he's a great point guard. But yeah, mostly for Boston, that's a big one for them. And then another Bulls trade, they traded Kobe White for Colin Sexton. Kobe White was one of their star players this year. He digressed a little bit, was a little bit worse, but he's now traded for Colin Sexton, which is just like a straight up downgrade. I feel like Kobe White was definitely better than Colin Sexton at this point in their careers. They're about the same age, but yeah. So another guard added to the Bulls roster, and now we go to Jaden Ivey to the Bulls. He was from Detroit. He was a point guard shooting guard from Detroit. He was drafted very high, and he had a very bright future in Detroit, and now he's on the Bulls as well. So now that brings me to the Bulls lineup. They have at least 6 starting caliber point guards on their roster. I'll go over them. Jaden Ivey now, Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons, Josh Giddey, who could have been an All-Star this year, and Trey Jones, that's 5. And then Rob Dillingham, who still has potential. But 5 point guards on their roster who are probably all in contention to be their best player. Does anything happen like that in soccer?
I don't know. I think you can look at Arsenal, for example. They were just stacking up on defenders for a couple of years, but they finally moved on to signing some midfielders and strikers. But yeah. I don't know if anything like that really happens.
Yeah, that's not even the end of it, though. They have those 5. Jaden Ivey, Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons, Josh Giddey, Trey Jones. And then we go to Rob Dillingham, Mac McClung, Yuki Kamawara. They're definitely a lot worse, but they're still point guards. So in total, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 point guards on their roster who are all at least semi-rotational players. Chicago, I'm a bit of a Chicago Bulls fan. Not really, but I love their team normally, and I don't know what they're doing now because they got Matas Buzelis over there, and that's good. But yeah, all right, let's go quickly through the rest of them. We had James Harden for Darius Garland. James Harden's now on the Cavaliers, and Garland's on the Clippers. Do you know James Harden?
I do.
Yeah, he's, legend. And he's a bit older, but he's still great. Could have been an All-Star this year. And now he's going to Cleveland, and they are in win-now mode, seriously. Garland was great, but I think Harden fits really well against Donovan Mitchell. So I'm excited to see what Cleveland can do in the playoffs, and I don't know, maybe they can make the finals. Honestly, I would have them up there with my favorites. They're probably up there with the Knicks right now for me. Maybe the Celtics if Tatum comes back. And then we had Jared McCain to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He could have won Rookie of the Year last year, but I'll get more into that later. And we had Kristaps Porzingis going to the Warriors. Could be cool. Probably won't be. I mean, Warriors are old a little bit. I don't know. But him teaming up with Curry, that's cool. Jimmy Butler when he's back. And then one of the last ones we had was Ivica Zubac to the Pacers. So your Pacers getting a good center.
Pacers.
He's from the Clippers. He's all-star caliber.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be really fun to see him teaming up with Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam next year when Halliburton's back. I know the Pacers aren't good this year. And then one final trade, the biggest one of them all, I think. I mean, it's debatable, but Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. Wow, that was unexpected. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. You know about that trade, right?
Yeah, this is the same guy.
Yeah, and now he's going to the Washington Wizards, and they haven't been good pretty much since I've been a basketball fan. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, I love this move for the Washington Wizards. I mean, I'll get into this when I'm doing winners and losers of the trade deadline, but I love it for the Wizards. Mavericks, what are you doing? You had Luka Doncic. Now you have Chris Middleton. I mean, you have Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley, and a bag of chips. Like you got 2 first-round picks for Anthony Davis, and one of them is from the Thunder, who they're the best team in the league, and the other one is from the Golden State Warriors, and it's top 20 protected. So you're not getting anything out of that. You had Luka Doncic, and I'll let that go. But let's go to the next one. We got the winners and the losers of the trade deadline. So, first winner, Washington Wizards. Man, I love this lineup. They have Trae Young now, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr. I mean, I'm excited to see what the Washington Wizards can do once they're all healthy. Because, I mean, Trae Young and AD were, they're past what they used to be capable of. But, I mean, Trae Young... we can remember how good Trae Young was for a couple years. We saw him against the Knicks when he ruled New York for a year or two, and him back with Anthony Davis now, and man, that team's cool because Trae Young has never played with such a talented center like Anthony Davis, even though he doesn't want to be called a center. But yeah, I love that for the Wizards. The second winner I have is the Oklahoma City Thunder's social media content. I said Jared McCain got traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Have you heard of Jared McCain? Probably not. Yeah, but he's the TikTok guy for the NBA right now. And the Thunder are the social media content going crazy team. They got Jalen Williams and the other Jalen Williams. There's 2 Jalen Williams on that team.
There's 2 Jalen Williams.
Yeah, spell it a little differently. One goes by J-Dub. But they're one of the youngest teams in the league, and they're obsessed with doing dances and stuff and a bunch of just ideas. But now they have Jared McCain to that crazy content flow they're gonna have. Man, that's gonna be a lot for the Oklahoma City staff to deal with, at least, especially that one reporter that they always jump on. Then we go to the losers. I'm gonna just say straight up Chicago guards. There's so many of them. They're gonna have to fight for a position. And then the final loser is everyone because Giannis didn't get traded. I mean,
yeah,
that would have been cool.
I heard the Warriors wanted him too.
Yeah, the Warriors, Knicks, even Blazers, everyone lost out. But not just the teams, even the fans. Because let's face it, nobody wants to see Giannis in Milwaukee at this point except for Milwaukee fans. And yeah, that's just disappointment that Giannis trolled us like that. I don't know if you saw what he posted on Instagram, but if you haven't, go look at it because he was a troll. He said, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving." Yeah.
All right, moving on to our F1 section. Do you want to go through who you're talking about?
Oh yeah. So recent reports came out that teams are trying to fight against Mercedes engine loophole. There's been reports submitted to the FIA by Ferrari, Audi, and Honda already claiming that Mercedes engine loophole is unfair, and recently Red Bull decided to join in on that fight against Mercedes by leaking all of the secrets to the other teams. I mean, what do you think about that?
Ooh, I think honestly, I saw that Red Bull. The only reason they leaked it is because they couldn't replicate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's gonna have the biggest impact because the other teams can try to replicate it, but just like Red Bull, they might not be able to recreate it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it like if Red Bull with all their resources can't replicate what Mercedes has and they pretty much know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
then there's not much stopping it unless they get what they're trying to do now by filing some sort of unfairness going on within the rules, and the FIA agrees to it and shuts down what Mercedes has going on.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that it goes through,
Yeah.
but I don't know. They're fighting. It's like classic Red Bull stuff, going back to the Christian Horner days, trying to do everything they can, I guess. All right.
All right, moving on. We're going to cover our Drivers' Championship predictions.
Here are our Drivers' Championship predictions for the 2026 season.
So we're going to go alternating order, bottom to top. So 22nd first, and then first last. Who goes first?
I think you should go first.
Okay. Coming in dead last, I put Colapinto. I don't think he scores any points.
Really?
Just like last season.
You Colapinto hater?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, for once, I agree with Lance Stroll that he should focus on scoring points instead of shit talking.
And that's not just because you forgot Colapinto on your list when you first made it.
I may have forgotten Colapinto existed, but I would still put him last.
Okay. Damn. I'll be nicer to Franco. Okay. I have Gabriel Bortoleto last. Okay. I don't think Audi's gonna be good. You'll see that with my next pick, because I'll just go straight into it. My next one's also Nico Hülkenberg. I could see Audi going scoreless all season.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. I don't particularly like their driver lineups, honestly, and also I just don't see the confidence in the team right now from them. So I have Bortoleto 22nd and Hülkenberg 21st. Likely predicting that both of them go scoreless.
All right. I have Valtteri Bottas in 21st. I don't think Cadillac are going to be good, and we also haven't seen Bottas in the simulator like at all, whereas you've seen Perez in there quite a bit, and he's just old.
Yeah. What is he now? Like 36-ish, something like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah. We'll do a snake draft, so put Hülkenberg there, and you go into the next one.
All right. Hülkenberg. Okay. In 20th, I put Bortoleto. My reasoning is not too far off from Cam's. I just think he will get some points on the board.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think about Bottas? Do you think how many points is he going to score?
At most one.
Damn.
I could see him. I could see him getting 0, and so the only reason he would be above Colapinto is alphabetically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go into my 20th. I have Arvid Lindblad. I think from what we've seen of him, he's very crash happy, and I don't know that stops in Formula One. And as of right now, I don't think Racing Bulls are going to be great. But that could very much be wrong. They could easily be a good team. But I don't see Arvid Lindblad specifically doing well. I think he'll have... No, I was going to say I think he'll have moments, but I don't think he will.
Really?
I think he'll be like Franco Colapinto was last year a little bit, but maybe a step above where he squeezes into a few points.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm predicting there.
Okay.
And then I'll go into Valtteri Bottas. Pretty much the same reason as you. I think Cadillac... I think I'm higher on Cadillac than you probably. But I also think that Bottas will be outmatched by Perez. So that's why I have him there.
Okay. For my number 19, I have Perez. I think he will get at least a couple points on the board. I don't think he'll get into the double digits. And yeah, I think these bottom. I think my bottom 4 especially are going to be really tight together. Maybe they'll all have 0 points. I could see that happening.
Really?
Yeah. And then in 18th, I put Pierre Gasly. He's a good driver, but going back to what I said last episode, I don't think Alpine's going to be good.
Yeah, that's fair. I honestly don't have the same thinking because my next one is Franco Colapinto.
Okay.
And I have him above those 4 because I think Alpine will improve a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alpine will be a competent team this year, unlike last year.
Okay.
I'm predicting that Colapinto will score 3 times in the
3 times?
season.
All right.
I don't know how many points he'll get in those races, but I think he will score a few times. And I think Alpine will be okay. I don't think Colapinto will do necessarily well compared to the car, but I think Alpine will be okay. And then I'll go into Esteban Ocon next.
Okay.
I really like Haas. I think Haas is looking strong going into the season, but I think he'll be blown away by his teammate, and we'll see that later. But I think honestly, this year might be the start of the end for Ocon.
Really?
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, my number 17, I put Hulkenberg. I think he'll have an okay season, just not as good as last season. He'll have some moments where he'll sneak into the, I could see him getting a P6, but other than that, I think he'll just have it's just a repeat of seasons before.
Yeah.
And in my number 16, I put Stroll. Aston Martin looked to be really good this year, but I don't think their car can save Stroll. But I don't think it'll be enough to replace him at the end of the year still because of his dad.
Do you think he'll have a bad season?
I think he'll have a below average season for his standards.
For his standards?
Yeah.
Okay. His standards aren't too high.
Yeah, they're not high, but...
But do you think he'll finally out-qualify Alonso? That didn't happen at all last year, except for one sprint race.
No, I don't think he will.
No, you don't think so? I think that would be insane if he didn't out-qualify Alonso once, but we'll see. I also do have Lance Stroll. Wait, that's a lie. I have Liam Lawson.
Don't lie to me.
I'm sorry, I lied. I think Lawson will actually do decent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably crazy to say, but I could see him getting a podium.
Really?
If I'm really wrong, I could see him getting a podium.
Okay.
If Racing Bulls are good and the Red Bull engine is good, I think Lawson has his moments of being an incredible driver. And I don't think he'll be replaced at the end of the season. I think they'll give him another shot. I think they'll run it back with the same 2 drivers next season, depending on how Hadjar does, I guess. But yeah, I like Liam Lawson, but I don't like the Racing Bulls team right now. Yeah. And then next I'll go into Lance Stroll. So only lied for a little bit. But yeah, Lance Stroll, well, we know what Lance Stroll does with the car. So he will not do very well. That's what I'm predicting. But the Aston Martin car will be decent, and that will carry him up to 15th in the standings.
Okay. For my 15th, I put Lindblad.
His name is hard to say.
Yeah, Lindblad. I think he'll have moments where he shines, and I think he'll be not as good as Hadjar, but close to Hadjar's level. And oh, look at that! It's autocorrecting for me.
Nice.
Okay, and yeah, I think he'll have a decent season, better than people might expect from him. And in my number 14, that's where I put Ocon. I think Haas will be fairly good this year compared to previous years, but I don't think he'll be close to Behrman at all.
Okay, yeah. I guess we're both higher on Behrman than Ocon going into the season. Do you know who was higher, Ocon or Behrman last season?
Ooh, no, I don't. You want to look that up?
I mean, they were definitely not far apart.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would guess Behrman.
Yeah, that's what I want to
But
say.
Ocon was probably more consistent over the season. But it was definitely close, and I don't see it being as close. What do you think about? I mean, Lindblad, you're clearly gonna be higher on Racing Bulls than me, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think that's honestly where I don't like my predictions the most is my Racing Bulls predictions, because I think I'm just taking a flyer on them being bad. I don't know if I really see that. But okay, I'll go into my 14th. That's where I have Checo Perez. Yeah.
Right.
Where you had a 19th? Yeah, I think Perez is coming on into the season with a chip on his shoulder because of how it went down with Red Bull, how things happened with Red Bull, and I don't think he's done with the sport yet. I see Bottas being out of Formula One. I don't really see that from Perez. So I think he'll blow Bottas away. I think Perez will be so much better than Bottas this season. I don't know. I see Perez doing quite well, honestly, in that Cadillac.
I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
I just don't have the same confidence in him as you.
In him or in Cadillac?
Cadillac.
Cadillac, yeah, that's fair. And then on to my 12th, I have Oliver Behrman, and that he's 12th not because 13th. Oh shoot! All right, cut that out. No, 13th Pierre Gasly actually.
Okay.
Gasly, yeah. I think Alpine will be okay. I think they'll do well compared to their standards from last year. I think they'll transition back into a high to midfield team with the Mercedes engine, and I think Gasly is a great driver who could do great things this season and have very good results over multiple races throughout the season.
My 13 is Behrman. I think he will have a good season. Oh wait, no, I also lied. My 13 is Lawson.
Yeah.
Behrman tricked both of us. Okay. My 13th is Lawson. I think he'll do better than Lindblad over the season, but not. I think he'll just stay consistent. I don't think he'll shine as much as Lindblad, but where Lindblad dips in form, I think he'll just stay consistent
More
throughout
consistent.
the season.
Yeah. You think Lindblad will have higher peaks at times?
Yeah.
Okay.
And going into my number 12, that is Behrman. I think he will be very good this season. I think it could earn him a seat at a different team, maybe like a Ferrari, or honestly, if Haas improves their car this season, maybe they could start being a top 6, top 5 team.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I also have Oliver Behrman in 12th, like I said before, pretty much. I think Behrman will dominate Ocon this year. I think Behrman will prove that he's a great driver and that he deserves to be on a top team. And depending on what happens with Ferrari in the offseason, I mean, both Leclerc and Hamilton could leave. Hamilton could retire. Leclerc could go to anywhere else if he has the mindset to do that. But we'll see how Ferrari does, and if things go the right way for Behrman, he could be promoted to that seat next year because I think he'll do very well. Yeah. And then I guess I'll go to my 11th, which is where I have Fernando Alonso. I think he's a great driver, as everyone knows. He's very good, and he will continue to be very good and showcase why Lance Stroll is not good, pretty much. And I mean, like you said earlier, I could see him out-qualifying Lance Stroll every single race again like he did last year. And so that's why Fernando Alonso in 11th.
All right. My number 11, I have Alex Albon. I don't think he'll do as well as last season. I mean, you saw in testing, Williams weren't really out there very much. And that's the only reason I have him there. And that also leads into my number 10, Carlos Sainz. He'll slightly overperform compared to Albon, but just the Williams car is going to let them down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a fair take, and that will bring me right into my 10th place where I have Carlos Sainz, and then my 9th where I have Alex Albon. Pretty much just swapped with you. I think they'll be right next to each other. They'll be very close again, but I'll say something later that will explain what I think about Alex Albon specifically going into this season.
Okay.
Because I think he is a great driver, and he showed that last year at times. I think in the second half of the season he was much less of a great driver, but I think he can show that he deserves to be in a top team.
Okay.
I don't know. I see that from him, and I mean Carlos Sainz is incredible, as we saw from last year, and this could very easily be wrong, and Sainz outperforms Albon, and likely that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking a flyer on Albon, and I believe that he can prove to be in the top team next year.
Okay. For my number 9, I have Hadjar. Obviously, he's not going to be able to compare to Verstappen, but I think he will have a decent season compared to previous Red Bull drivers. He won't be anywhere close to Perez, but he also won't be as low as their past, 3 drivers?
Yeah, Lawson, Tsunoda, and well, those two.
Well, they're past 2 drivers then. Yeah.
Do you think he'll be worse than Perez was?
Yeah. Huh. Well, not like last season Perez. I mean like.
Yeah.
Prime Perez.
Yeah, 22.
22, 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my number 8, I have Hamilton.
Wow.
Lewis Hamilton. I think he'll be better than last season, but I think just the front pack is going to pull ahead. Yeah, I don't think he'll have as many miserable moments, but he won't shine very much.
Do you think it stays for next season?
Ooh, no.
No.
I think he retires after this.
What if he does well and Ferrari does well?
If he does well, I think he'll stay.
Okay, that's fair enough. And notice you don't have a specific someone up there from one of the not top 4 teams, and I'm excited to see where you put that person. But number 8, I have Isaac Hadjar. I think him in the second Red Bull seat. I think he will be better than Perez, but Perez was just so high in the standings because of that car. I think comparatively he will perform well, and he'll okay, maybe not better than Perez this year, but he'll show that he will be better than Perez in the future, and that he will keep that seat and be likely the replacement for Max Verstappen in the next year. Not year, but in the future when Max either leaves or is he'll always be Max. But
I agree with that.
Yeah. And so 7th, I have Lewis Hamilton. I think he'll have a good season, honestly. But there's so many good drivers and good teams right now that I can't put him any higher than 7th, just because of his probably because of his motivation. I've seen lately his interviews. He's been looking really happy about this Ferrari.
Weirdly happy.
Weirdly excited about going into the season, and that scares me about putting him 7th. But at the same time, even if Ferrari is good, I still don't have him beating any of the top 6. Yeah.
All right. My number 7 is where I put Alonso. He's one of the championship favorites right now, which is surprising to me, but I don't see that.
No.
I don't see that happening. But I do think he will have a good season, surprisingly good.
Yeah, I think the odds makers who are putting him top 4 in the betting odds right now, they're likely just going off the Adrian Newey hype train.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would love if Alonso had a title push, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
Number 6 is where I put Piastri. I think he's gonna fall off compared to last season, and I think end of the season he's leaving.
Yeah. All right. It's interesting. 6th, I have Charles Leclerc. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Ferrari can do something, and I don't think they will do anything to beat McLaren, Mercedes, or Max Verstappen, because I think Leclerc is one of the best drivers on the grid right now, and I think he does what he can with that car to deliver great results, but I don't see him having the highs of the other drivers, and honestly, I didn't see too much consistency out of him last year. And so hopefully he can turn that around. But yeah, and into my 5 spot, I have Oscar Piastri, so that's interesting that we're both lower on Piastri going this season. I think he had a terrible end of the season, and
Absolutely.
I mean, except for Qatar and Abu Dhabi, but I mean that was rough to watch for him, and I mean, hopefully for his sake, he can wipe that from his mind, erase it completely, take what he learned from it, and apply it in the next season, but forget about what had to have been a gut wrenching feeling in his stomach all of the end of the season.
Yeah.
And I do see Norris outperforming him going into the season as well.
All right, my number 5, I have Antonelli. He's gonna do great things this season, but I think just a couple crashes here and there are gonna bring him down in the standings. But I think he will be a star.
Yeah.
Not much else to say about that. And my number 4, I have Leclerc. I think he will be more consistent compared to last season. Getting on the podiums pretty often, but not like crazy noticeable, but you'll see him and you'll just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. You think he'll get any wins?
Hear me out. He's gonna win in Singapore.
In Singapore?
Yeah. Come back in
How did he do this
8
year?
months.
I don't think he did well.
No, he didn't.
We'll see. Has he ever done well in Singapore?
No.
We'll see. But okay, yeah, I like Leclerc in 4th. That's good. Into my 4th spot, that's where I have Kimi Antonelli. I'm all aboard the Kimi Antonelli hype train, but not fully stepped on yet, I guess, because I think he is an amazing driver, and I would love nothing more than for him to outperform George Russell all season, honestly. And he showed that last year. He showed that he can do that, and I think he will be great this season. I think he'll prove everyone who doubted him through the European stretch of last season. He'll put that all aside, and he will be an amazing driver, finish top 4 in my prediction, and I think he'll prove that he is the future of Mercedes that Toto Wolff thought he would be. And then on to my number 3, I have Lando Norris, because I think Mercedes will not be as good as I think McLaren will not be as good as Mercedes, but I think Lando Norris is. I think he's learned a lot through his championship push. Through I guess the last 2 years, he's learned a lot, and coming off of last year with what for him had to have been an incredibly motivating championship win, and I don't think he'll be flustered at all by the Max Verstappen comeback. I mean, maybe a little bit, but we saw how calm he was in the last part of the season last year, unlike Piastri maybe was. So I think Lando Norris can do well, and I see him competing for maybe another title.
My 3rd is also Norris, mostly for the same reasons as you. I think he's going to fall off a bit, but he'll still be there pushing. I think he could take it to at least Qatar. I don't think it'll go down to Abu Dhabi again for him.
Okay.
Maybe the top 2 will go down with Abu Dhabi, but I think he'll make it pretty far in the season while being in contention.
All right.
And then my number 2, I have...
Wait. Do we want to just say our number 1 or no?
We can save it.
Save it? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I have George Russell. I think he will be good, and I think this title race is going down to Abu Dhabi. And he'll just miss out barely.
Okay. Now, my question to you is, did you say that just in hopes of not saying George Russell? Because I also have George Russell second, and that was my full reasoning. I think George Russell is the overwhelming favorite, and clearly we both have Max Verstappen 1. I don't know. It's just George Russell is the favorite right now, and okay, here's a point I thought of. Come Australia in Melbourne, there's only one driver I think that you wouldn't be surprised won it, and that's Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
I think you see George Russell win in Australia, and you're surprised. You're gonna be like, wow, he really did that.
Mm-hmm.
But if Max Verstappen wins, you're like, oh, he's back. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Lando Norris wins, you're like, okay, yeah, well, not. I mean, probably less surprised than George Russell, but I mean, Max Verstappen, we know what he can do in a car.
He's just so good.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he wins Australia and goes the distance. And the one thing that scares me about it is he's fighting George Russell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think George Russell might be the only driver on the grid who isn't scared of Max Verstappen a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you've seen them beef in the past. Like you saw Barcelona last year, and just in general, they've kind of beefed. You saw them kind of making up like towards the end of the season last year with George Russell being so confident Max was going to win. But
yeah,
I think they're going to start beefing again this year.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. I think that'd be great for the sport to have a George Russell versus Max Verstappen fight, because Lando Norris versus Max Verstappen was a wolf versus a tiny deer, and the deer slightly got away. But this year it's George Russell, who I guess I wouldn't call him a wolf like Max Verstappen, but he's definitely not going to be scared of him. I don't think he gives Max the respect that even a Lewis Hamilton gives him. Like, George Russell will not let Max by him ever. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That'll lead us into our hot takes. We've already said some, but we have a couple more to share. You want to go first this time?
I can go first, yeah. So, you want to just start with our surprise podium of the season?
Yeah.
So, I put 3 down. There's only one I really believe in, and that is Oliver Behrman. I think that's, I mean, not a very hot take. I think a lot of people saw what he did in Mexico last year and can see that going to another step, especially if Haas can improve this year. But then my other 2 I have are Pierre Gasly, who I doubt you believe in because of your Alpine hate. That
I do not believe.
Come on, to you. And then my other one is one that I didn't believe in my team standings or my driver standings, but I did mention it. I said Liam Lawson. I don't know.
Okay.
He qualified very well in Baku last year, and I see glimpses from him of just turning into some other kind of driver that he can do good things in, and maybe he gets a type of Hadjar podium this year with Racing Bulls.
I actually have 5. And I'm going to go through. I want you to rate them on a spicy meter from 1 to 10. Okay. Alonso.
It's like a cheesy dip.
Okay.
It's not that spicy, but I only wouldn't put him because I've been lower on Aston Martin than you, I think. So yeah, but I could totally see that for sure.
Let's go Antonelli.
Yeah, that's a freaking Cheeto.
Bell pepper.
No, not even a Cheeto. That's an apple. That's a celery stick right there. That was a celery stick. If he doesn't get on the podium, that's a shame.
I know.
That's a shame. I mean, of course, he's on my surprise podium as well because, like, come on.
Okay, Behrman.
Yeah, I think it's about on the same as Alonso probably.
Okay.
Maybe slightly spicier than Alonso, so I'll go with like a cheese dip with a few pepper flakes in there.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Hadjar.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely higher or less spicy than Alonso and Behrman, but more spicy than Antonelli, because we know what the Red Bull second seed does.
Yeah.
And we also know what Isaac Hadjar does. Or what he did last year, and how surprising he probably was to a lot of people last year. And so anyone with doubts of him coming into this season of being in the Red Bull seat, I think he could very easily turn those around and do very well. Maybe even like cracks into the top 6 of the standings if he does incredibly well and Red Bull does well. So yeah, that's not spicy at all.
All right, now last one, Lindblad.
I mean, sorry for laughing at that, I guess. I don't see that. I don't know. I mean, he's definitely the person we know the least about coming this season. I guess, to be fair, we didn't know much about Isaac Hadjar going into the last season, so It's pretty spicy though. That's a what's spice? One level spicier than a jalapeno, I guess, and then a level above that.
Habanero.
All right, level above a habanero pepper. What's that?
Ghost pepper. I don't know.
Not that. All right, we'll just go with
Somewhere in between there.
Somewhere between a habanero pepper and a ghost pepper for that one.
Okay.
I don't know why I turned to food for that, but spicy.
Okay.
And then winners. You want
winners.
winners?
I don't think there's gonna be any like surprising winners this year. I mean, most surprising for me is gonna be Antonelli, but I think everyone sees that coming.
Yeah. So you have Antonelli, and then just the rest of the usual suspects, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have also Antonelli. I think he'll win. And one thing I was gonna put is that I could see him coming out in Australia and winning that.
Really?
I could see that happening. I don't know. It probably won't happen, but if it happens, you owe me $1 million. No.
All right.
But I have one more actually.
Okay.
And it's Alex Albon.
Albon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did
like
not see you saying that.
I like him. I think I didn't put him in my surprise podium because I wanted to save him for this reel.
Huh.
But I don't know, man. I think he could do something really well in a random race. I don't know. I like this Williams team going into this, even though they missed testing. I feel like I have to be confident in them with how like strongly they believed in their 2026 car. They, like James Vowles, their team principal, said that it's not about 2024. It's not about 2025. It's about 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's no reason not to trust that and just believe that they put all this effort into 2026 and aren't going to do something with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Albon can do something with that car to turn it into a win, which he hasn't done before in his career. But
that is a real spicy.
How spicy is that one?
That's like that might be like a scorpion peppers.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe in it.
Okay.
And if that comes true, we're playing this clip. We'll come back to this.
We'll come back to that if it comes true. But
okay. And then we got hot take. Want to do hot take?
For my hot take, I have Colapinto doesn't get past 8 races.
You're a hater.
He's getting replaced.
Wow.
Like, I feel like the level of forgettable he is to me, I feel like that's gonna be him to the entire grid. Like, I feel like it's gonna get to the point where he says hi to someone on the grid. Like, he says hi to Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton tries to give him an autograph.
Oh, jeez.
Like,
if that happens, that'd be so good. Oh.
Like, I could see that happening. I feel like that's gonna happen. I think he's just gonna get replaced so fast.
I mean, do you want to become the Franco Colapinto internet hater or something?
Maybe I might start a hate account. I might start a Colapinto hate account.
I believe in you, Franco Colapinto. You know what? Maybe I'm just gonna become a Colapinto fan.
No, I won't let that happen.
Okay. Well, we'll see about that. So you just think he's gonna have an awful season?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's rough for Colapinto. My hot take is that I could see 8 different drivers winning a race this year.
8?
Yeah.
Wow.
I looked it up, and first of all, there hasn't been more than 8 winners since 1982.
Wow.
And the last time we had 8 different winners was 2012. And like we had 7 different winners in 2024. Mm-hmm. So it's not that crazy to say. But here are my people who I think can do it. I see Max Verstappen, George Russell, Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli, Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
I could see him squeezing one out in Silverstone or something. And then either Hadjar, Albon, even Sainz, Alonso, or Behrman.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah.
Clearly, you don't believe in Albon, but.
I mean, I think if we see a rain race, then that could definitely happen. If we see a couple wet races, we could get a big variety.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that.
You don't hate that? Yeah. I mean, that would definitely make for a very entertaining season, at least. So maybe that's just hoping. But yeah, I think there's a lot of drivers with possibilities coming into a new regulation set. So hopefully there isn't Mercedes dominance, and we can see that happen. I think everyone everyone who's an F1 fan should be rooting for that because that'll just make for a great season, I think.
All right. So that wraps up
It's all done.
F1, which means we're moving on to soccer. So today or this morning we saw Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0. Very confident from the Gunners, from the Gooners. That is genuinely one of their nicknames
For Sunderland?
for Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Gooners.
Interesting.
It's been like that for a while.
So just an internet thing that came about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it came about, but yeah.
Interesting.
Gyökeres did really good today. I actually predicted this game. I got the score exactly correct, which I'm proud of. And then Bournemouth won, Villa won. I think this effectively puts Villa out of the title race. And then tomorrow we see a massive game, Liverpool versus City. This could, for one, define Liverpool's top 4 charge. If they don't win this, I don't think they're competing for top 4 at all. And it can define City's title charge. If City don't win this, then I think they are also out of the title race. Right now, as I'm recording this, which is Sunday the 6th, the Opta predicts Arsenal have a 93.5% chance of winning the title, and City just has a 5%, which is a massive gap. So I guess we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
You just think it's over if City loses?
If they lose or draw, it's over.
What will that do to you if City loses and then comes back and wins the title? What will that do to you personally?
I think I'll jump off a bridge.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a prediction, actually, from one of our viewers, Olin Bishop. Liverpool lose 3-0, which starts bad form for the rest of the season, and Slot is sacked at the end of the season. I could very much see this happening. I see either Liverpool winning tomorrow or losing very poorly with a horrible display. And honestly, no matter what the result is, I don't think Slot is going to make it to the 25-20 or 26-27 season. And yeah, especially if they lose 3-0, he could be sacked even before the end of the season.
Who's Slot?
He's the Liverpool manager.
Okay.
He's actually pretty funny. You should look at his Instagram account because some of the stuff he posts. All right, that's about all there is to cover for soccer. So we'll move on.
Okay, we have breaking news. A decent amount of breaking news today, actually. We're gonna go through the NFL. We had Matt we had Matt Stafford winning the MVP in a very close race with Drake May. Drake May. Told you about him last time.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt Stafford plays for the Rams. He led the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He had an incredible season for the Rams, and fortunately their Super Bowl charge ended when they came across the Seahawks. But I think Matt Stafford was very deserving of the MVP, and it was a tight race between him and Drake May. So very exciting MVP race to close out with Matt Stafford win, not a Max Verstappen win. And then we had the Winter Olympics opening ceremony on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. No, Friday. It was Friday. It was Friday the 6th. And so that's kicking off now. We had some events going on today. We had a few medal winners. I saw Japan took a 1-2 in some sort of snowboarding event.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a little rant that I want to go over.
Okay.
Sorry if this offends some people, but there are currently three individual events and 12 total events going on that involve people sitting on a sled and going down an ice track. And my complaint with that is I don't see much skill going into that.
Okay, it's got to be really fun,
Yeah.
But like, how much skill does that actually require?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go over them. We have bobsledding, which has a 2-man, a 4-man, and then a women's monobob. Monobob, which is just one person, but they call it a women's monobob, and then a 2 women. So that's 4 bobsledding events.
Yeah.
2 for men, 2 for women. Which bobsledding is just you sit in the sled and go down an ice track.
I mean, I guess you gotta like sway from side to side, but
Do you really though? Do you really? And then we have luge, which have you heard of luge?
I've heard of it.
Heard of it, yeah. But luge has a men and women's single, and then a men and women's double.
Mm-hmm.
Which the double is so luge is when you're leaning back on a sled and you have the legs out.
Uh-huh.
How do you think that would work with 2 people on it? What's your guess?
Do you like? Okay, it's either it's like 2 people wide, or you just stack on top of each other.
Nope. You put your head in their freaking crotch. That's what I'm seeing. They have one person in the back, one person in the front, leaning back on them, and then they slide down with 2 people just in a row, head to thing.
What's even the point of having 2 people in that?
Sledding down a hill. That's all you really need to know about it. But
I mean, I feel like to give respect to it, I feel like it's a kid's like dream. Like if you could sled for a living, like absolutely, I'm that up. But like
for sure.
They're like as an Olympic sport, it's just interesting.
Yeah, I saw something about how it's pretty much only body dependent also, so they could just find someone off the streets who has the right build for it and put them in a sled and they'll do all right.
Okay.
But we have that, and then we also have a relay for for luge. I didn't actually look up how that works, but I can only imagine how that works.
Okay.
So that's interesting also. Luge is where they're laying back on their back.
Yeah.
And then we have skeleton, which I think it's the opposite where you're leaning forward.
Oh, okay.
And skeleton it's much more normal events, I guess, but it's just a men's, a women's, and a mixed.
Okay.
But I mean that brings it out to 12 different sledding down a hill events.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we need all that. I don't know if we do. Especially just having a luge and a skeleton. Like, what's the difference between leaning back and leaning forward?
Yeah.
So that's my rant, I guess. Just sorry to offend all the professional sledders out there.
And anybody who might be a fan of bobsledding.
I mean, who isn't a fan of bobsledding?
Yeah, I would love to do your sport.
Yeah.
But it just feels like
it's a little repetitive when you get to that much sledding down a hill.
Uh-huh.
But I respect the fun that you probably have while doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for me with breaking news.
All right, I think that pretty much wraps up everything.
Yeah.
If you made it to the start, thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
Please consider subscribing.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you again next weekend on Close Enough Sports.
All right. See ya.